If you can put your video on, please do. You don't, it's not required. We understand that some people may be at work or other places or just don't want their video on, and that's perfectly okay. But if it's easy to do so, would love to be able to interact with you and see your faces also. Um, we'll introduce ourselves and then I would like each one of you to introduce yourselves also. I'm Lainey Dornier and I am the director of the Kinesiology program.
Hey, and I'm Craig Flanagan. I'm the associate director, and I teach several classes across the undergraduate curriculum. So if you're here interested in our undergraduate programs, I'm happy to answer any questions.
And I'm Dan Ray, and I'm the Senior Academic Advisor for the undergraduate and graduate programs in kinesiology.
And then what I'd like to do, just so we know those of you that are here, what you're interested in, if you'll just tell us, I'll call you out, but tell us your name and then what program you're interested in. And so we're going to go over all the programs, but then we can spend a little bit more emphasis on the programs you're interested in. So Noah.
How's it going? I'm interested in the undergraduate programs.
Do you know which one or just all of them? Both of them?
Kinesiology and health sciences.
Okay. All right. And Kier?
Master's in Sports Studies.
Great. Thank you very much. And Kristen Williams? Maybe you can't come on. That's okay. And Jose Antonio Gonzalez. Can you tell us what program you're interested in? And maybe you can't come on either. That's okay. And for those of you that are on and maybe can't put your video on or can't interact, you may be in a space that you can't do that, feel free to use the chat. So if you have any questions as we're going along, throw those in the chat and we'll try to answer those as much as possible. And Craig and Dan, while one of us is talking, the others can monitor the chat. So, and then lastly, before we get started, make sure you've muted your computer because if you don't, you'll get a lot of reverb and we hear all the reverb also. So we're excited to meet with y'all today and tell you all a little bit about our programs. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to jump in and ask them or send them through to the chat. So the School of Professional Advancement, which is where kinesiology is housed, and the School of Professional Advancement is one of 10 schools that make up Tulane University. So this slide kind of shows you the other schools. We can explain. Yeah. And Ann's telling y'all to welcome and to use the chat if you need to. So, so these are all the different schools that are available. We're in the School of Professional Advancement. So our school is on the Uptown campus. Tulane is actually spread out. We're in New Orleans, Louisiana, for those that may not be here, but we are in New Orleans. Our School of Professional Advancement is housed in our Uptown campus, which is the main campus. We do have other campuses. We have some campuses that are downtown, the School of Social Work and the School of Medicine. We also have a law school and we have a med school. But our campus, the School of Social Work, is in our Uptown campus. It's a beautiful campus. So if you haven't ever been here, please make an effort to come and see our campus, and we'll happy to give you a tour also. So we're going to talk about a few things in our time with you today. We'll tell you a little bit about the learning experiences within kinesiology, about our different programs and the faculty that we have. The student support, Dan's going to tell you a little bit about student support and about the affordability and flexibility for using our program. So we'll talk about this a couple of times, but we're really proud about our faculty. One of the things that makes us unique, I think, is that we do have full-time faculty. Craig and I are both full-time faculty, but we also rely on a lot of adjuncts. So our faculty are actually experts in the field in which they're teaching. Here are some examples of our expert faculty. Ted Vicky teaches several classes in our undergraduate health and wellness program and our graduate program also. And he's the founder and president of Fitwell. He actually worked in the White House and he ran the the wellness center at the White House for 8 years. So he's an interesting person to get to visit with. Irina Terashenko is a national champion pickleball player, but she's also an expert coach. She coaches, she's played tennis and she's coached tennis at the collegiate level and actually private practice, and she coaches and plays pickleball professionally. Mary Parrish is a licensed professional counselor, and she teaches our course on mental health. So we have people that are teaching in the areas that they're experts. And then Cornell Sneed is actually a faculty member at Benedict College, and his specialty is sport management. And he teaches several classes for us in our graduate sports studies program. Jose, you may want to mute yourself. I'm gonna mute you. I'm muting you so that we don't hear any background noise. Our kinesiology program, just to give you a little background, and for those that don't know, kinesiology is the study of human movement. And so whether you're studying human movement from a psychological perspective, physiological perspective, or health and wellness perspective, that's what kinesiology is. And in our programs, we look at kinesiology, the study of human movement, both from a healthcare perspective in our undergraduate health and wellness program, from a sports perspective in our graduate sports studies program, and from an exercise science perspective in our undergraduate exercise science program. And we'll tell you more about each one of those programs. So overall, we're looking at what are the tools that are going to be helpful for leading a healthy lifestyle. So we teach a variety of classes. Here are just some examples on here in sport, nutrition, fitness and exercise, sport and exercise psychology, stress management, community health, and the prevention and control of diseases. And we have lots more. This is just some examples of our courses. We do offer 2 bachelor's degrees. I'll let Craig tell you about our bachelor's degrees.
Absolutely. We've got a Bachelor's of Arts and a Bachelor's of Science. Now, the Bachelor's of Arts is in Health and Wellness, and this is offered completely online. With this, we have
the Bachelor of Arts is not online. Our undergraduates are not online.
Undergraduates are just the
These
graduates.
are both undergraduates. Yep. Sorry about that.
Both undergraduates here, but the Bachelor's of Arts, it really starts off with 5 major core courses that everybody has to take, and then you select 5 courses beyond that that are more specific into an area that maybe you'd like to pursue. You can read through some of those career opportunities with that. The scope of these classes, it gives you a really nice perspective across, more of a sociological perspective. We do get into more of the scientific principles here and there, certainly not as much as we do in the exercise science, Bachelor's of Science, and hence the Bachelor's of Science instead of Bachelor's of Arts in that one. But the 5 major core courses that we have are the human body, stress management, exercise and sports psychology, wellness in contemporary America, and then, of course, an intro to kinesiology, giving you a nice broad overview. And then you can, again, take classes in global health if you're interested more in public health, or epidemiology of aging, childhood obesity, beyond that. That's all within the Bachelor's of Arts in Health and Wellness. In the Bachelor's of Science in Exercise Science, we first want to make sure that you have a fundamental understanding of how the body works across many different systems of the body. Then we throw an exercise stimulus at it, and we want to be able to explain, well, the type of exercise stimulus and what the outcomes might be, what adaptation responses might look like. And then we progress from anatomy and physiology type courses into exercise physiology and motor learning, through biomechanics, and then eventually land in an area where we're pulling it all together in exercise prescription, and then an internship course as well at the end in your senior year there for the BS in exercise science. So we get a lot of students who are looking to pursue graduate programs, a lot of physical therapists and physician's assistants and medical school. We write a lot of recommendations for those areas. So the BS degree is really useful as a stepping stone for that. Not to say that there aren't plenty of opportunities to land a great, rewarding career with the bachelor's degree. All right, back to you.
Yep, and we also offer the Master of Science in Sports Studies. Again, we're kind of unique in the way we offer our master's degree programs. We have stackable certificate programs. I'll talk about that in a minute, but our Master of Science in Sports Studies is offered in collaboration with our Center for Sport. Our Center for Sport at Tulane University is a combination of the medical aspects of sport and the actual legal aspects of sport. And they have a center here on campus. We work in collaboration with them for this degree program. It's a total of 11 online classes. This degree is completely online. It's 11 classes, and it does include, one of those 11 classes is the internship. There's a variety of careers in the sports studies program. These are just a few of them that are listed. We have some students that are coming back to get certificates simply because they want to learn more in a particular area of study. So some of our students will start in a certificate program, take 2 or 3 classes and like, oh, wow, this is really cool. I think I'll stay and get the master's degree too. And that's perfectly okay to start in a certificate and move to the master's degree. Or if you know you want the master's degree, you could start in the program with the master's degree. We do have 4 certificate programs. There's sport administration, sports security, sport coaching, and sports medicine. Each of these certificate programs has 4 classes in it. So if you're interested in the master's degree, you can select any 2 of these certificate programs, which is 8 classes, plus 3 core classes for the master's degree. Or students that may have an interest across a broad spectrum, they're not really interested in the certificate, they want to have broad knowledge in sport studies, they can choose 8 classes across all 4 of these certificate programs, plus the 3 core classes for the master's degree in sports studies. So this tells you a little bit about how you can get the certificates that stack toward a master's degree. So you can complete 4 classes for a certificate, 8 classes total for the 2 certificates, plus the 3 core classes equal a master's degree. There are lots of ways to go about it. So you can start with as I mentioned, you can start with the certificate program, finish a certificate, and then decide if you want to continue on, or you can start in the master's degree. And if you start in the certificate program, the maximum courses you could take each semester is 2. We offer 2 classes for each certificate program each semester. If you're going with a master's degree, you could take the certificate classes plus the core class, 1 core class, so that you can finish that degree. It generally takes about 4 semesters to finish the master's degree. We're really proud of our online learning, and we've developed this online learning. Our online learning is not where you sit in front of a computer and you just finish these modules all by yourself. Our online learning is really interactive. We're really proud of our online. Every single class in our master's degree program goes through an online learning workshop where the subject matter expert works with people that are online development of online learning experts and with our program directors to develop a class that's interactive. So just because it's an online, you're going to be interacting with colleagues in your degree program, whether it's working in groups or working in discussion boards or attending Zoom sessions. Every graduate class has to have at least 4 Zoom sessions. So you are interacting with your colleagues and with your professor. We give y'all real world scenarios that you're having to solve. And we try to make these learning environments so that each student can kind of do it at their own rate. So every week you might have something due, but one student might work, their best time is Tuesday night at midnight. And another student's best time to work is Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. And that's okay because you're posting it to the internet. And so that then students can come back and interact with each other during the week. I'll let Dan tell y'all a little bit about student support and success.
All right. Excuse me. Thanks, Lainey. Yeah. So in addition to when you're a student here, we have a number of student support programs and success options. There'll be an advisor assigned to each student in our program. So as a kinesiology student, I'd be your advisor, go-to person to assist you just about anything. And if it's something that I don't handle or manage, then I'll refer you to that department or person. Like financial aid, something I don't handle, but I can get you in contact with those folks if that's somebody you need to talk to. But any little thing in between, you got a question, you're not sure who to ask, then you could always come to me. Transfer credits for undergrad, just about everything is, you'll have an advisor there for you to assist you along your journey. As already mentioned, we have great faculty with industry experience that bring their knowledge directly from their job to the classroom. So it's a really cool learning environment. And there's also a lot of great networking opportunities. We throw a lot of events. I've had faculty hire some of my students whenever they were close to the end of their degree program. So it's really good to have a good relationship with your faculty. They're always willing to work with students, accommodate them. They know a lot of our students work full time and everything, and some do not, but it's a great way to network and get to know your faculty is what we always say. In addition to that, when you're at the end of your program or at any other point, if you need some help with resume, job search, career advice, anything like that, we have a dedicated career advisor, Susan De La Houssaye. She's awesome. I always tell everyone to take advantage of that when you're a student here, among the other things that we offer when you become a student here at Tulane. Next slide, please. So transfer credits. At the undergraduate level, Tulane will accept up to 60 hours from all outside sources. And that'll allow you to save a little on tuition, depending on how many transfer credits you have. We waive the application fee for everyone who has attended this webinar today. If you've already applied, give it a few days for the application fee to be waived. And then it's usually within a couple of days that they will remove that payment from your admissions application. You're going to have a transfer student advisor, which will be me, to work with you on transferring in your credits, whether undergraduate or graduate. And then we do have some other additional discounts and scholarships. There's an early enrollment scholarship. There's some 20% tuition discounts for, depending if you were military, prior military, firefighter, policeman, EMS, city employee of New Orleans. If you're a teacher, there's a couple of other different options there. If you're Tulane alumni, we'll go into those in a little bit more, but that there shows you how many credits, for the undergraduate degree and some of the discounts that'll be available to you and what the costs can potentially be in the end there. Another way to earn credit, if you're not maxed out on your transfer credits, whether undergrad or graduate, is we have credit for prior learning. It allows some students who may have a lot of experience, but they don't have actual college credit for it, to learn how to put together a portfolio of that experience and then eventually have that converted into college credit. There's an approval process that you have to go through. So depending on your background and work experience, life experience, stuff like that, there's a way to earn some credits that way, pay a fraction of the tuition costs for each of those approved credits when they go through. And so, maybe some credit that you can just use to fill up some electives or anything like that, that we're going to, bring you closer to the degree, basically. Yeah, so undergrad students can get up to 24 credits there, sorry. And at the graduate level, you can get up to 6 credits. The portfolio assessment is the first one I meant. There's also examination where you can take CLEP, the SST exams at the undergraduate level. And then for military training, we can award credit there as well. Usually elective credit towards an undergraduate degree. At the graduate level, it may be a little more difficult depending, because you would need, sports studies specific type background in order to potentially turn that into any kind of credit towards that program. Next slide. So I have, affordability. You see the tuition costs there. This is per course, not per credit hour. Each course is generally 3 credits. There are some 4-credit courses, for example, in the exercise science major, but each course there is for 3 credits. The undergrad, the graduate tuition, some of the financial aid options, which, federal loans, grants, the credit for prior learning, potential scholarship if you're an undergrad and you're transferring. There's also the early enrollment scholarship for both undergrad and graduates. And then we have the Phi Theta Kappa Gap Scholarship. So if you were a Phi Theta Kappa member at your community college and you're transferring over, then there's a scholarship there for you as well. All the different tuition, 20% tuition discounts I kind of mentioned initially are listed there that a student would qualify for. They just have to submit that every semester in order to then have that discount applied eventually to their tuition bill. Next slide. So yeah, application process, you can apply anytime. We have admission every semester, including summer. The link's there, sopa.tulane.edu/apply. Just complete the application. As mentioned, whether it's undergrad or grad, the application fee will eventually be waived for you for attending this webinar. You upload your ID, you submit your official transcripts. They need to be sent from institution to institution to be considered official. And then once everything's on file and ready to go, then it'll go for an admissions decision, and then you'll be notified. At the graduate level, I think we'll get into that too. You'll have to submit a personal statement, and students usually upload their resume as well. Next slide. Yeah, so the admissions deadlines are listed there for each semester. It's usually the first of that month that the semester is starting in. So like the fall semester, we're starting on August 19th. The application deadline to apply is August 1st. The early enrollment scholarship deadline, the one-time discount there has already passed about a week ago now, but you can see the application and early enrollment scholarship deadlines there. So if you're going to come in for the fall, you need to just apply by August 1st. If your transcripts and stuff are still trickling in and not there yet, that's fine. It'll still should be enough time. A lot of schools do the electronic transcripts now, so they have a really quick turnaround time and they get to us within a couple days max. Next slide. That'll about wrap it up. I'll send it back to Dr. Dornier, and if y'all got any questions, let us know.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, so on the screen, you've gotten a lot of information about all of our programs, both our undergraduate and our graduate programs. My information is on the screen. That's my email. That phone number is actually to the main office of SOPA. So you can, if you have any questions, if you leave here and you think, oh, I wish I would have asked this question, feel free to shoot me an email and I'm happy to answer it. And if anybody has any questions now, we're happy to answer any questions you might have. I'll say this as we're thinking about, y'all are thinking about questions you might want to ask, is that for the undergraduate, we also have a student group, a kinesiology student group that meets 2 or 3 times a semester. So if you do get, if you decide to come to Tulane and you enroll in our classes, I would encourage, you'll get an email about our student group meetings. And I would encourage you to come to those meetings. They're informal, but they're great ways for students to get to talk to each other about classes and about the major and what they're doing. And we enjoy it too, by the way. We enjoy getting to hang out with y'all and getting to visit and talk about what's going on in kinesiology. Does anybody have any questions for us?
Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yes, I can.
Hey, I'm sorry, I'm on the phone call, so I didn't know how it worked. So I was trying to unmute myself earlier. My name's Ashley. I actually did have a question. So for the master's in sports studies, now with that, I am a teacher in St. Bernard Parish, and I do coach. Do you guys have like a hybrid type setting as well? Like, is there like an evening class, like maybe just one course I take that could be, NC, or is that not a thing? It's okay. I just wanted to know.
Yeah, no, our master's degree program is completely online. So none of our classes meet on campus. And one of the reasons is that we have students that live all over the country. We have students that are in California and students that are in Texas and students that are in Florida that are getting in our sports studies program. So that would be difficult for them to come to campus. And we've made it intentionally that way so that we could have a broader audience. Now, that doesn't
Of
mean you
course,
can't come
yeah.
to campus. You know, we have graduate students who live here in New Orleans, and I mean, you can come to campus and use the library. You can come to campus.
Oh,
Our
okay.
building is in Richardson Building, and we have spaces for students to study. And so, you know, if you want to get away from, you know, from your own work environment or your own home and you want to come over there to study, so you can come to campus and be part of the campus life. We
Oh,
don't have any classes on campus.
gotcha. That's fine. I live right by Tulane anyway, so that's fine. So I just thought I'd ask. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And thank you for being a teacher.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I have a question too.
Sure.
Yeah. Is the financial aid offered through the certificates programs too? Is this financial aid available for certificates program?
Dan, do you know that answer?
I know for the graduate, the certificates usually are, but I'm not sure what kind of financial aid it is.
Okay.
I'm gonna put the financial aid link in the chat, and you'll probably need to reach out to them directly, but they have it says, please note, there's financial aid opportunities for certificates may not include federal student aid. But at the graduate level, they do offer some kind of aid, but you're probably gonna need to reach out to them directly because I don't have access to any of that information.
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't really deal with financial aid, so we don't really,
Yeah.
we have
I'm
to be very careful about offering any information in financial aid because financial aid is very strict and it's federally, you know, it's done
Control.
with the federal government. So reach
Okay.
out to them. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna put this in the chat for you, but oh, there it is. And then you can follow that link, and then there should be some information there about, you know, eligibility, what kind of aid is available, and so on. and so
Okay.
forth.
Thanks.
I
thanks.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you so
problem.
much.
No problem.
Thank you.
How's it going? Quick question. Does the fee waiver apply if you're applying through the Common App on the undergraduate level?
I don't know what you mean by fee waiver, but
But
are
you're
talking
you're
about the
applying.
application? Are you talking about the application fee waiver?
Exactly.
Are you
Yep,
applying
so-
through Newcomb Tulane College? Is that
think
what
so.
you're asking? If
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
applying through regular full-time admissions?
Exactly.
That I do not. I know it applies to
Oh.
our school, but
Oh,
I
I
don't know
can-
about.
I can speak to that a little bit. I know that the Common App for Tulane, they are going to start to include SOPA on that Common App. I'm not sure if that is that the case for you, Noah?
Perfect. Yeah, that's what I was what I was
Okay,
asking.
so this is new and that's a great question about the fee waiver. But so everybody who attended today, I took your, I have your email address, so the application fee waiver is just going to be automatically put on your account. You don't need a code or anything, but Noah, that's a good question. And I'm going to follow up with you directly by email about
Amazing.
that.
Thank you so much. We
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
Thanks, Anne. Good questions. Anybody else have some questions for us? We're happy to help. If nobody has any questions, we'll let y'all go and have a great week. And again, if you have any questions after you get off of this webinar, please feel free to reach out to any of us. My email information is there. And then that phone number is to the main office at SOPA. And if they don't know the answer, they'll find you somebody that does know the answer. They're a very helpful group here at Tulane.
Thank
Oh,
you.
actually, I have.
Thank you so much.
question.
Have a great day.
Okay, somebody else had a question?
It was me. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
So we are sending our transcripts. I know my fiance, he sent his transcript. He went to multiple schools for his undergrad. So did I. On my transcript for my final, where I finished out my undergrad, it has the other schools on there that I intended and everything like that. Can I send just that final, like just that transcript, or do I need to send all of them from all of the schools?
Yeah, Unfortunately, you have to send we have to have the official transcript from the school you attended.
Okay, from all of them. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and they've made
Sorry,
they've made it
I went to a lot
relatively easy, because now when you go to the different schools, you can ask for transcripts and you can do it electronically.
Oh yeah, that's what I did for the other ones.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I went to four different undergrads, so.
Yep. Well, you'll
That's
send
kind of
all
bad.
4 of them to us. Yep.
Okay, will do. All right, thank you guys so much.
Yep. Thank you.
You.
Everybody have a great day.
Everybody have a good day.
as
Thank
well.
you. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes,